Hi, it's Carrie here at Barefoot Consultants, and today I want to talk to you about how you would determine your private tutor rates if you moved into a new community. So I'm going to take Huatulco, here beautiful Huatulco, Mexico, where I live, as an example. And if I was moving into town and I was going to be tutoring, doing private tutoring here in Mexico, there are a few ways that I would try and determine what price the market might bear, as we say. And the first one that I would do is I would see if there are any language schools in town, and I would look at how much they charge for classes, knowing that if I'm giving individual lessons and one-on-one, that I'm going to be charging a little bit more than that, obviously, because people are willing to pay more for private lessons than they were for classes. But this is going to give you an idea, if you do the math, on how many classes they would get per week and how many months they would be in the classes, and boil that down, and it will give you a number, something to go on, right? The next thing I would do is I would start looking around town, and I would see on kiosks and bulletin boards if there's any other private tutors who are advertising their services and have included the rates that they're charging. So that's also going to give you a really good idea. You might even need to call them and ask them. Some people are going to be willing to give you that answer, other people aren't, and that's okay. The next thing that I would do is I would go on sites like Craigslist, and Huatulco's kind of a small community, so that might not work as well as if you were in someplace like Mexico City or Madrid or Santiago, Chile, something like that. But you can go on sites on like Craigslist, where tutors will often advertise their services there, and many times they do include their rates on that, or you can email them and ask them for their rates. And then, of course, just taking into account the cost of living. So there are many sites out there on the web, and in the newsletter, as you scroll down, you're going to see that I'll share a few with you here, that you can go and find out what the cost of living is in town. How much is the average rent for someone, for example? How much does a cup of coffee cost? How much is it to go out and have a meal or go to the movies? And you start to see how much people are having just to live there, and that will also give you an indication of what the market might bear for your private lesson rates. But I do want to say, if you have a specialty such as business English or medical English or any other kind of industry that comes with a specific vocabulary, in addition to just your English know-how, you can charge a little bit more for that. People are willing to pay a little bit more when they know that in addition to helping them with their English, you're also going to be somewhat of a liaison for that industry and teach them more of the specific vocabulary and jargon that they would be using there. So I hope that this has been helpful for you, and if you have any questions here, you can just email me at support@barefootconsultants.com, and I'd be happy to help.